How did you first start your venture and how did you spot the opportunity? How did it come about or develop?
Well, the venture first started when my best friend and co-founder brought the idea to me, and it was pretty clear that there was an opportunity there, especially being a student myself at the time. I was doing my undergrad at Carleton University. I can see how students like me would benefit from such a product and such a service.
How did you evaluate the opportunity in terms of critical elements for success?
In terms of evaluating the opportunity in terms of critical element for success, we looked at the market, the especially our target market, which were students, and we also looked at any competitors in that market, if anybody was in the market doing what we wanted to do, and if we can compete with them, if we can offer a better service, if we can offer a better product to what they're offering to our target market, and if we can add more value to what's already out there.
What goals did you have when you first started? What were your lifestyle needs, or did you have any other personal requirements that you had, and was there a good fit?
When we first started, I was doing my undergrad at Carleton, so my student workload only allowed me to work on the business part-time. And the goal that we had at the time was simply to get the idea into a workable product and a servicing website. A couple thousands a month, but that's really just a hypothesis, and we're really not sure yet to how the market would take to this product and this service.
Did you have to find your partners, or did you already have partners? And what kind of planning did you do? What kind of financing did you have?
So after the idea was brought to me, we had to find different partners to work with us, people that would fit the roles that needed to be done. And we looked within our networks to find those right people. And in terms of finance, everything was on a bootstrap budget where the money just came out of our own pockets, and that's how we slowly grew our business.
Did you have a startup business of any kind? Please tell me about it.
Yes, we had a startup business plan, which was very detailed in terms of every product, their features, how much it would cost us to create those products, how much we would charge for those products, their marketability, and we also looked at their scalability, and that's encompassed the whole business plan at the beginning.
How much time did it take from the idea to the first day of business? How many hours a day did you spend working on it?
It took about, from the idea to the first day of business, about a year. So the idea first came about a year. The idea has been in the works, and we spent an hour a day, to say, sometimes more, sometimes less, on building it.
How much capital did it take? How long did it take to reach positive cash flow and break even sales volume? How did you finance the business? Your own savings, family, friends, banks, bootstrapping? Tell me about the pressures and crises during that early survival period.
So right now we're actually still in that early survival period. We're still in the startup phase, and we still need more capital to fund and to produce the other products that are waiting to be produced. So I'm not fully able to answer all of that right now.
What outside help did you receive? Did you have experienced advisors, lawyers?
We didn't have any outside help. We pulled from our own resources and our own know-how and our own experience. We didn't have any advisors or any lawyers, and at right now we don't need them. But when the time does come, we will hire outside help.
What was your family situation at the time?
So at the time, my family situation, I was in university. I was doing my undergrad at Carleton University. I have two brothers, one older, one younger. My older brother, he was also finishing off his undergrad at York University, and my younger brother, he was also doing his undergrad at Dalhousie University. And at the time, actually, my dad just got laid off from his day job, so it was a little bit rocky.
What did you perceive to be your own strengths, weaknesses, And what did you perceive to be the strengths and weaknesses of your venture?
So my own strengths and weaknesses, I'll say my strengths are I learn really quickly. Also, business development, marketing, sales. One of my biggest weaknesses is I'm not very technical, so I would need a technical mind around me to get certain technical ideas off the ground. And the strength of our business is it's very innovative. It's in tune with what's happening right now in terms of the shift in education. And our weakness is our lack of capital to actually put forward what we are envisioning.
What was your most exciting moment and what was your worst moment?
The most exciting moment would be when the website launched. It was a huge burden off our shoulder. It was a huge relief, to finally see the idea in reality. Um, the hardest moments were when things were a little bit too technical for me to grasp. Then those were kind of frustrating times for me.
Are there any attributes among partners and advisors that you would definitely try to avoid?
Yes, I always make a conscious effort to avoid unhappy people and unlucky people because they tend to bring negative energy, which is very destructive in the creative environment when you're trying to create new innovative ideas.
When you looked for your key people or partners, advisors, managers, or employees, were there any personal attributes or attitudes you were especially seeking for because you knew they would fit with you and were important to success?
Yes, I was fortunate enough to work with one of my best friends as a co-founder, so it was an instant fit. And anybody else that we brought in, we looked for people that are driven, that are motivated, people that are winners, and with the right specialization to get the job done.
How does the time you spend with your business compare with when you first started?
In terms of when we first started, I was only able to work on it part time, given that I was still doing my undergrad. Now that I've graduated, I spend a lot more time now on the business than I did before, and which is great because things are moving a lot quicker now.
What are your plans for the future? Are you planning to expand, maintain, harvest?
Yes, we are planning to expand. We're planning to expand nationwide, currently across Canada and also in the US. And then we will have our eyes on international waters, so to speak, to expand.
Have your goals for the business changed? If yes, how so? Have your personal goals in life changed? And if yes, how so?
Yes, the goals for the business have changed from the beginning. At first, it was just an idea that we thought was cool. And then as we kept playing around and changing the idea, we started seeing the opportunity in it. And we really wanted to make that idea into a business. My personal goals in life haven't changed at all. I'm in line with what I want to do. I want to be an entrepreneur, and this is exactly what entrepreneurs do.
If you had to do it over again, would you do it again? And if yes, in the same way or different?
Yeah, I'll definitely do it all over again if I had to, and would not do it the same way. I would do it much different. I've learned a lot from the whole experience. I've learned a lot from the journey along the way. So there's a lot that I'll do different.
What do you consider your most valuable assets? The things that enable you to succeed?
I would say my work ethic and my drive are my most valuable assets, which I definitely picked up from my parents.
As you look back, what do you feel are the most critical concepts, skills, attitudes, and know how you needed to get your company started and grow to where it is today? What will be needed in the next 5 years? To what extent can any of these be learned?
The most critical, important know-hows, I would say know how to market is really important. Business development, how to take an idea into a scalable business. And in the next 5 years, what we'll definitely need more hardware in terms of servers. We'll need infrastructures, and we will need employees if we scale the business accordingly. So that's definitely where we stand for that.
Some people say there's a lot of stress being an entrepreneur. What have you experienced?
I wouldn't call it stress. I would call it emotions, and it's really about not getting too highs on the highs and not getting too lows on the lows. And that's what the whole entrepreneur experience is about. You're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days, and it's about being able to, ride the waves.
What things do you find personally rewarding and satisfying as an entrepreneur?
It's really rewarding to see an idea come to life. For me, it inspires me to create more and to really go out there and be an entrepreneur.
What have been the rewards, risks, and trade offs?
The reward has been the freedom, the freedom to work on projects that really interest me, um, which is definitely rewarding. The risk is, most businesses fail within the first 5 years, and we're not even at that 5 year mark yet. And the trade off has been, you have to trade off some of your social life to be a successful entrepreneur. That's just the given.
What advice would you give an aspiring entrepreneur? Could you suggest the three most important lessons you have learned? How can someone learn them while minimizing the tuition?
What advice I would give? I would say follow your passion, brand yourself, and make meaningful connections. The three lessons that I've learned, and I've learned them kind of like the hard way, is first off, pay yourself first. It's very important to pay yourself first. And second off, I would say have a definite plan. And third off, I would say take massive action, and execution is everything. So how can you learn them? By simply putting yourself out there, learning from people who are in your field doing what you want to do. It's kind of a way to indirectly be mentored by them, and researching. The internet nowadays is a beautiful tool that you can find information on anything. So going out there and just researching your idea.
Who should try to be an entrepreneur and who should not?
Who should try to be an entrepreneur and who should not? There is no try. So either you do it or you don't. And if you have an idea that you're passionate about, I say do it. And if you don't, then there's nothing to do. That's what it really comes down to.